Hi, I'm Lou Jaffe, the founder of the One Day MBA. Thanks for clicking and coming to this video. I know you're looking to get a promotion within the next 90 days, you're looking to make more money, and that's why you're here. Well, the core thing that you need to understand is it's all about getting a win. You see your promotion as a win for you, but in order for you to get that win, you have to create a win for the company. And that's where I come in. Let me help you see the ways that you can find that win. So I thought I'd share with you a couple of stories and a couple of lessons that you would find in the One Day MBA. So I had a client, let's just call him Jim. And Jim's an amazing guy. He runs a restaurant chain. He actually now is a vice president, a regional vice president, and runs a whole bunch of stores. But when I first met him, he ran one store. And that was his goal. His win was to become a regional vice president. So using the lessons that I teach and working with him, we looked at his store and we looked, why does his store perform a little better than most of the other stores? How can we get his store to be even better? But then how does he document what he's doing so he can share it with other managers? Because his win of being able to say, not only are we a good store, because they'll always say, well, it's real estate, real estate, real estate, you have a great location. But we talked about what makes his store really unique. We talked about his hospitality mentality. Because remember, this is a very high-end store, and they get A-list celebrities, all the way to regular people like me that come into the store. But they also have from the dishwasher to the chef, from the waiter to the bartender. He's got this entire environment of a whole bunch of different type of people. And creating this hospitality mentality so everybody knows it's about creating an amazing guest experience over and above what anybody else can do. That way, the waiters can kind of gently upsell and increase the size of a bill because people are having such a great time they don't want to leave and they want to spend more money. But we created this plan, and then he was able to document the plan. And by documenting the plan, he went to his boss and said, listen, at our next regional meeting, I'd love to present what we do and why we're so successful. And when he did that, his boss's boss saw what a phenomenal job he did on documenting his plan and sharing his plan. So it was his communication and his thought process that impressed his bosses, and he got that big promotion to become a regional vice president and then an executive vice president. That's one example. Another example, I have a guy, great salesperson. Phenomenal, made great money, but he wanted to go into sales management. That was his goal. So he had to create a win for the company, not just a revenue win, but again, it was a unique situation. Why does he outperform most of the other salespeople? So we sat down and we looked at all of the elements that he does so that he could put things together in such a way and talk to his boss about, this is how I do it. I can train and I can manage and I can help other people. And he got that promotion into sales management because he broke things down into little pieces. So he got his win becoming a sales manager, and the company got their win because now all of their salespeople can be more effective based on what he did. And a lot of what he did is exactly what I teach in the One Day MBA program. It's what I teach here at Loyola Marymount University to my MBAs and to my undergrads. It's what I want to teach you. It's in the book, it's in the program. Another example, I had a CEO, and I realized today you folks are probably not CEOs, but his big problem was turnover because he kept having people, he's in the pharmaceutical industry, and he kept having his people leave because he was a bit of a micromanager. So we sat down and we figured out, how does he become less of a micromanager? And that comes to the element of trust. How does he trust his people? So we looked at all the elements of where he had trust, where he didn't have trust, and we helped him back down from his micromanagement to empower his team to do more. And he would work closely with them, but take a step back and not tell them what to do when he unleashed the power. Within this 60-day period, he didn't have a person leave, and he was losing a person a month. And he's dramatically lowered his turnover and increased his profitability by understanding people. And when I look at these lessons, it's all the same stuff. And that's the stuff that I wanted to share with you. So I thought I'd take a few moments and talk about some of those things. Many of you have taken a Myers-Briggs Personality Index test. So you know maybe you're an INTJ, an ENFP. That's great that you know who you are because it gives you a little sense of self. But remember, there's 16 combinations in a Myers-Briggs. So we talk about the other 15. It's not just who you are. It's who the other person is because you need to communicate to somebody else. So you need to be able to get into their head and understand them and communicate with them to a way they can understand. A great example. Let's say you're a really big picture person and you like to talk in the big picture, but you need to talk to somebody that's a facts and figures person. Well, if you keep talking in analogies and big picture stuff, as opposed to very specifics, they're not going to understand or believe that you know what you're talking about. And that understanding of those differences makes you incredibly powerful because you know how to communicate to the person on the other side of the table. So we dive deep into the Myers-Briggs analysis. We talk about being passionately dispassionate. Now, I realize those two words don't go together because we're all really passionate people because we're emotional people. But the truth of the matter is sometimes you need to be dispassionate. You need to take a step back. And we talk about that so you can be open to all the possibilities, not just the possibility that you are totally focused on. Because that makes you great. It means you can enlist a team around you, everybody's great ideas, and pick the best idea. And that makes you a leader. And if you want to have a big win in your organization, people need to see you as a leader because you'll get more out of whatever it is that you're doing, and your bosses are going to highlight on that. And those are the kind of things that we teach in the One Day MBA. Another great example is I teach something called the Balanced Scorecard. And the Balanced Scorecard is a way of looking at all the different constituencies, because if you want to roll out a new initiative, it's not about the initiative because the initiative is going to drive towards a result that you're looking for. But how do you get everybody on board? It's thinking through how do you need to train people? How do you need to measure people? How do you need to hold these people accountable? And it's thinking about all those elements. Because what I teach is the ecosystem of business. And the more you understand the ecosystem, the faster you get a win. And the faster you get a win, the faster you get a win in your career and you get that promotion. So I know I went through this stuff really quick. Please feel free to reach out to me. You have access to me through our Facebook page. You have access to me through email. Let me know how I can help you become more successful. And hopefully you decide that you really like the One Day MBA program. Thanks.